Money must reside somewhere. Your capital actually needs a home. It must be deposited. It has to be deposited somewhere. And if you're depositing that money in someone else's bank, they're getting the energy or the growth potential on that money. Someone must perform banking function in your life. And who should that someone be? That someone should be you. In any financial transaction, again, whether you're buying that stick of gum, if you're investing in a piece of real estate, you're paying off debt, financing, education funding, there are 4 characters in the financial play in any situation. There is the depositor. Now, everybody on this call today, everyone in Canada is a depositor because we're earning money. Even if you're on EI, that money's got to get deposited somewhere. So we're all depositors. There's also the borrower. We're all borrowers because I'm not just, if you might be sitting there saying, well, hey, I'm not a borrower. I use cash for everything. I have no consumer debt whatsoever. One of the opportunities that you have today, and one of the opportunities that you need to take advantage of in order to implement this process, is we need to actually think differently. As I said earlier, remove an old idea so a new idea can replace it. Now let's just think about, what do I mean by we're all borrowers? Well, it's very simple to know that if you're going to borrow money from a bank, well, hey, I just borrowed money. Okay, great. You're a borrower. But what about when you use cash? Nelson taught us that you're either going to pay interest to someone else, or you're going to give up the opportunity to earn interest when you use your own cash. So if we think differently, you're always using borrowed money because there's always either interest paid or interest lost. So we're always using borrowed money, whether you borrow it from someone else or you use your own cash. Now, there's also the banker. Well, what does the banker do? The banker grants you access to the capital. They set all of the rules. They tell you when you're going to pay, how much you're going to pay, for how long you're going to pay, what the interest rate's going to be. And if you don't make those payments consistently, they're going to come and get your stuff, whether that's a car or a home, or they're going to take the line of credit away or whatever. They have all the control. They set all the rules. And then who is the 4th character? Well, that's the bank owner. Well, the bank owner is the one who makes the most money in this equation. And right now, people walking around in Canada are only 2 of the 4 characters in the financial play. And by implementing the process of becoming your own banker, you can become all 4 characters in the financial play. Why would you want to become all 4 characters in the financial play? Well, think about the golden rule, and not the, treat others how you want to be treated. Of course, that is a great rule as well. But people have abdicated the responsibility and the opportunity that pertains to the banking function in the economy. They're actually relying on somebody else to perform that function. They're depending on someone else, right, to perform the job. And the character in the play that's making the most money, that's the bank owner. And rightfully so, because the golden rule. Those who have the gold make the rules. So if you have the gold, you make the rules and you make the most money. Remember the golden rule. The person on the streets in Canada today understands the subject so poorly that they're doing the equivalent of living off a heart and lung machine. Just think about that. People are just walking around. No one's talking to clients or people about the flow of money and who's controlling that. It's all about, hey, invest in this, invest in that, get a better rate of return. Well, if I control the banking function, I can still take advantage of all those other opportunities, but we're missing a huge opportunity, again, to reverse the flow of that money. What I want to talk to you about today is how you can create a system in which you can control everything about the banking function as it relates to your needs. Now, you already saw me show this book off a little bit earlier. I think we might even be over 500,000 copies sold at this point, but this book was self-published by Nelson in the early 2000s, and it has sold over 470,000, 500,000 copies. Why would it have sold so many copies? I mean, that's pretty impressive for a self-published book. It's simple. It's because it works. And so we want to give you an opportunity to get your copy of the book. Of course, you can head over to ascendantfinancial.ca and order a copy, but we're going to share with you later on how you're going to have an opportunity to obtain a copy of the book very, very easily. Now that's our Nelson Nash and the founder of our company, Jason Lowe. You're going to see a few pictures of him today as I go through the story. What a cool t-shirt. First principle that must be understood is that you finance everything that you buy. Much like I said earlier, you finance everything that you buy. You either borrow from someone else and you pay interest, or you use your own cash and you give up the interest you otherwise could have earned. So thinking differently, you finance everything that you buy. There are absolutely no exceptions to this rule. You either pay up or you give up. As simple as that. And it just, again, it doesn't have to be this way. The whole idea is to recapture the interest that you're paying to banks and finance companies for major things that you need to purchase throughout your lifetime. And not only capture the interest that you're paying to others, but recapture the interest that you're giving up when you spend your own cash. And the objective is to keep the money in the family. Think about that. Everybody in our family is working hard and they're financing things and they're sending money away. And they could be sending that money back to the family to grow and create more wealth, to create more opportunities. Now, the question is, how much of the banking function do you control as it relates to your needs? Remember, the money must reside somewhere. Your capital actually needs a home. It must be deposited. It has to be deposited somewhere. And if you're depositing that money in someone else's bank, they're getting the energy or the growth potential on that money. Someone must perform banking function in your life. And who should that someone be? That someone should be you. You're the one doing all the work. You should be the one who is controlling the process. This process is not an either or. It's an and process. Becoming your own banker is not about addressing the yield of an investment. This is not about an investment process. It's all about how you go about financing the things that you need throughout your lifetime, which certainly could include investments. Because again, from investing money, that's a financing function. It's a function of banking. Okay. We can do both. We can become our own banker and we can make investments and do all the rest of it.